Hey everyone, this is Chase of Rocky Mountain ATV giving you a closer look at the youth electric bikes from STACYC. All right everyone, thanks for checking in with us today. I am really excited to talk to you about these electric youth bikes from STACYC. So STACYC's been around now for a few years. They've become very popular. And the way these got started was actually with a father and a son. And the father was looking for a way for his son to bridge that gap before moving up to like a 90-pound PW50. PW50 is a bike that we would all consider our first bike. So he built it. They've gone through a couple designs. They built the functionality, the design of it, and these things have just exploded with popularity. And what they are is just a bike that is designed to help youth riders, that age range from about 3 to 7 years old, develop those motor skills, the balance, throttle control, and just help them transition into their first motorcycle or even just a pedal bike for that matter. And if you're wondering what STACYC stands for, it actually stands for stability cycle. Now, with STACYC, their whole idea with this is just to get kids on bikes sooner. Now, there's some other cool features about these that we really like. So there's two different sizes with these. You have a 12-inch model and a 16. And we're going to talk about the sizing and the specs and what size rider is going to be great for the two different sizes. But before we get there, here's what we like so much about these. So it's throttle control, so you have the throttle right here on the right side. You have a brake on the left-hand side. But each bike, each size, has 3 different power modes. And what's great about those power modes is that you can put it in which power mode you want. And once you set it there, those will actually limit the speed that the bike can go. And the reason that that is beneficial is that as a youth rider starting out, you can start them with whatever power mode they're comfortable with, and they can kind of work their way up from there. So it just helps them be confident. You're developing those skills as they work their way through that power range. But also what's great about these is the battery is just right here in the front. It's very simple to remove. It's honestly just like a power drill at home. You pop the battery off, and now you just have a standard push bike or a balance bike, kind of like a strider bike. So if your youth rider is just getting started out and you don't want to have them in a power mode yet, you can just have it be a regular balance bike, which is awesome. And then as they get more comfortable, then you put the battery in, put them in that low setting, and then they start to work their way through. So it's really cool. Also, what's great about you can just taking the battery out is that way, the little missus or junior is not tempted to ride these things when the parents aren't around. The other big benefit to these is they're quiet. So that way, because it's just battery operated, you could have your youth rider riding these out in the front, out in the yard, in the backyard, around the neighborhood. You could take them to a park, and they're not loud enough that they're going to really bug anybody that's going to be close by. So really cool benefits to these. But now, let's just talk about the sizing and what size rider age group is going to be good for these. So at the 12-inch model, this is going to be for youth riders about 3 to 5 years old. You're going to be under 75 pounds with this, and then also a 14 to 20-inch inseam. Now, if you've never measured an inseam before, it's really simple. You're just going to go from the crotch to the floor. You just want to make sure the youth rider is wearing shoes when you take that measurement. So the seat height on the 12-inch model with the seat all the way down, they have it listed at 13 inches. I actually measured it myself. I got closer to 14 inches with the seat height. And you do have about 2 inches of adjustability to raise this up, so about 14 to 16 inches. Now to compare that to say a PW50, the PW50 is going to be about 18.7 inches, so it's quite a bit taller. And then also if you look at, say, the Strider bikes, those are from about 11 to 16 inches. So those are going to be your size comparisons. And also what's nice about this bike is the weight of it. It's only about 17 pounds. And like I said, when you compare that to about 90 pounds on a PW50, that's a big weight difference. That's going to do a lot for the rider when it comes to just balancing and just learning to ride the bike and having more confidence. So those are the sizes on there as far as specs go. You have 12-inch pneumatic tires on here. You're going to put air in these. Now what they recommend is 30 PSI with the tires. And you'll notice right here, you have your power button on the right side to turn it on. And then you have 3 lights that indicate the power mode. Now like I mentioned earlier, you have 3 different power modes. Low is 5 miles per hour for max speed, medium is 7, and then high is 9. So like I said, start them on low, kind of help them work through those power modes as they get more confident, as they build their skills. And if needed, if they're just getting started, take the battery out and you have just a regular balance bike. So that's the 12-inch model. Now let's get the 16 on here and talk about the specs on it. All right, so now we got the 16-inch version up here. So 16-inch tires, just like with the 12-inch model, you're going to put 30 pounds of pressure in here. So with the 16, riders anywhere from 4 to 7 years old, still under 75 pounds, and then an 18 to 24-inch inseam. Now, as far as the seat height goes on this one, you're starting out at 17 inches, and it's going to go up to 19. So that's going to be a lot closer to the seat height of a PW50. The 3 power modes are going to be a little bit faster. So low is still going to be 5 miles an hour, but medium is 7.5. And then your high is going to be 11 miles per hour, so a little bit faster as far as the speeds go. Also, the weight does go up just a little bit. This one's going to weigh 19 pounds instead of 17, but still a lot lighter than that PW50. Now, as far as the battery life goes, you're going to get anywhere from about 30 to 60 minutes, but that's going to depend on the power mode that you're in and also the type of terrain that you're going to be riding in. As far as recharge time, you're going to be anywhere from about 45 to 60 minutes. And also the battery life on these, as far as how many charges you can get, is actually really good. They say about 240 charges before you'd actually have to replace the battery. You can buy additional batteries on our website if you do need to. Now, what's nice about being able to buy those extra batteries is that you can buy a few if you want to, and that way when you're out there riding, you're gonna have additional riding time. You're not gonna be worried about having to recharge the battery. But what they do recommend with the battery, it's important, is that you wanna let this run all the way out before you recharge it. That's gonna help just maintain the most battery life over the course of its lifespan. So that's the 16-inch model, but now we're gonna get a couple youth riders in here. We're gonna show their sizes, and we're gonna have them sit on the 12 and the 16-inch model to give you a good reference of what size youth rider is gonna be good for these bikes. All right, so I've got my helper here, Chrislyn. So Chrislyn is on the 16-inch model, and she actually owns one of these. Now, Chrislyn, how old are you? 7 years old. She's 50 inches tall. She weighs about 50 pounds. She has a 22-inch inseam. So this will give you a really good idea of what size rider is a good fit for this bike. I do want to point out too, as far as the seat goes, I've got it raised up to that max height of about 19 inches. So with Chrislyn here, she's going to be at the upper end as far as the sizing goes for the 16-inch model. And once she gets really comfortable on this, at her size, she's going to be ready real soon to go up to a bike like a PW50. So take her as an example as far as sizing goes. Again, that's a 16-inch model. All right, so now I've got my man Taves in here. Taves, how old are you? Taves is 4 years old, 35 pounds. He's 43 inches tall, 18-inch inseam, and he is on the 12-inch model. So I've got the seat all the way raised up, but as you can see, Taves is actually a really good fit for this bike. So as Taves is just learning to ride, he's going to take this, he's going to transition into the 16-inch model, and then just move on from there. So use Taves here. So one more time, 4 years old, 35 pounds, 18-inch inseam, and 43 inches tall. All right, everyone, thanks for watching this overview of the youth electric bikes from STACYC. Remember, if you have questions or comments, we want to get those answers, so make sure to leave those below. Thank you to my two helpers for coming in today to help you when it comes to sizing. To pick up your next bike, you can click on the link or head over to RockyMountainATVMC.com. Orders over $75 ship free. If you like this sizing guide, we have a lot more great videos just like this on youth bikes, so make sure to get subscribed to the Rocky Mountain YouTube channel, and that's going to keep you up to date. I am Chase, and we will see you on the trails.